Hi, welcome to Forgotten Legends of Sound. Yeah, today we're kind of just doing an update on our channel. It's We've been kind of AWOL for a while, for like a couple months, and people might be wondering why. And so we wanted to at least kind of explain where we're at, what's kind of going on. That way, if anyone is really interested in seeing what's going on, so we wanted to update you guys. The channel is so when we started the channel, it was basically this is a way for us to, and also our friend Chad, to be able to talk about music because we loved listening to albums together and we loved talking about music. So we were kind of like, let's just kind of do that and just videotape it and just throw it online just for fun. And so the channel was very, it was built with like this idea that we're going to just do this as like a friend thing, just something that we could all enjoy. And plus we all have different tastes in like music. So it was cool being able to see other people's reactions to stuff that maybe like one person would really love, another person wouldn't as much. But at the same time, the channel was also created because we wanted to focus on obscure or underrated artists. And that's why we said Forgotten Legends of Sound, because it just sounded like a brutal name. Like it was a brutal name to be like, dude, man, this this legendary music that seems to be forgotten in the mainstream, but we haven't forgotten, like, kind of mindset.
I know we say oh yeah, we're Forgotten Legends of Sound, but really the Forgotten Legends are those bands that we're showcasing. They're the legends, that we're trying to amplify their sort of presence in music.
And that's the thing is like when it comes to like marketing, saying something's obscure or forgotten or whatever is like a way for people to be like, I want to know what that is. You don't really like introduce it and say, here's some information that everybody knows. You know what I mean? Like we wanted it to have some sort of like name or something so that it would draw the eye and be a person would be like, I want to see if I know this, because it's almost like a challenge sometimes when people say underrated whatever, and then you're like, okay, well let me see what they think is underrated, because because everyone has their own opinions.
Yeah.
So it began with that kind of mindset, and it was really fun doing that. And I think we did it for what, a year and a half,
2.5 years now.
How much with Chad? It was like a little over a year or year and a half.
Yeah,
I think it was about
close to a year and a half.
Yeah,
about 15 months maybe.
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
So like it was really fun just doing it and just kind of having fun. And even then, like in the beginning of the channel, Kevin was the most motivated to do it. It was like the most fun. I was probably in the middle, and then Chad was probably the least motivated. And it was kind of like, yeah, it's fun for us all to do it. I guess I'm just sharing that because it's kind of like I'm less motivated than Kevin is as far as
plus like you're the one who like does the videos and uploads.
Yeah,
and that's kind of
a lot of the work
because with your work you're at home to do it anyways.
Yeah. Which would have been impossible for you and Chad to do pretty much. Yeah. So going into this, we didn't go in with these aspirations to be YouTube stars or any crap like that. We never asked for people to like. We never asked for money. We don't ask for any of that crap because I think it's ridiculous to ask people for money just for sharing your opinion.
Right. Yeah,
that's just my opinion. If you have a different opinion, cool. That's just
my
how
opinion.
I see
it's
it.
not only ridiculous, it's pretty.
It's pretty fudgy. No, I'm messing with you.
Yeah. No, but it's just kind of like YouTube used to be a thing like back in the early days when people just shared information. Now I hate the monetization crap. I hate all that. Like we gotta check out the channel and make sure everything is turned off, like monetization wise. Because I checked out our CD collection of the H's and a commercial popped up, and I was like, wait, how's that possible?
So
we'll have to check it out.
Sorry, we're not very tech savvy at all either. So it's like we had all these things working against us, but it was fine because we went into this with our eyes open. Like we knew what we wanted to do, and we covered a ton of bands that we love and enjoy, and we wanted to promote those out there because we felt like there's a lot of like amazing music, amazing artists that the normal dialogue in the music world is not talking about enough. So we wanted to at least do a video just because we felt like, hey, if there's only one person in the world that cares about this band like we do, that's awesome, because that person could be like, dude, no one ever talks about this, but I'm glad you guys spent 3 hours listening to an album and talking about them, So that was kind of like our kind of focus going into it. And then like when Chad moved away and then I moved away like soon after, that kind of made things a little bit harder too, because like we were all like basically, we all moved away, we all had like different like places that we lived in, so it was kind of like, how are you like the last like year and a half, it was great because we all like lived in the same city, pretty much. So it was easier, and even then it was still hard for us to get our schedules lined up and do it. We all work and whatever. So nowadays, me and Kevin kind of carried on the channel, but living in different places, it made it increasingly difficult. So I guess I'm just saying that like the state of the channel is like, we're not saying it's on life. Yeah, life support. Like it's
not dead. Like we'll probably upload some stuff, but just when we feel like it, and just when it's like enjoyable and you know whatever. Because we don't want this channel to be treated like a job where it's like it's been like 3 weeks or whatever. Ian, you gotta drive a state away because we live like in different states, you know, and we gotta do a video because we gotta like try and like it's like whatever happens. You know?
There's no this is something that we always wanted it to be fun. We did not want it to feel like a burden, and we didn't want it to feel like a job or anything like that.
And we don't want to try and like, well, we got to try and get more followers or whatever. Like we don't like, I don't have any social media. I don't you know, I don't care about all that crap because the people that I care about, I have their phone number and I talk to them in real life. You know, and it just feels a bit like if we can help someone with like an artist that like no one cares about and whatever, and that one person, you know, 3,000 miles away is like, cool, someone talked about that. Cool, I'm glad. You know what I mean? But it's just, we're not interested in trying to build some huge channel and whatever. But
another thing too is like, it's obvious when people are making videos and they're just trying to follow social trends. They're just trying to chase after popularity. And they're just trying to just kind of say whatever they can in order to get more.
Like and subscribe, please. Yeah. It helps out the channel.
I know.
Like and subscribe.
And you're just like, and we've always just not enjoyed that mentality. There's this sense of like when you're putting yourself in a camera with a screen, there's this sense of like authenticity that is missing in a lot of communication these days. Because so many people kind of create little characters. And I understand like they're doing something because they want to entertain. Like I'm not dogging on, you know, I'm just saying like our perspective, like we're not here to just try to like create some caricature and try to just like, we wanted to just have genuine conversations and let them happen how they happened, you know? And we just kind of felt like in the music world, there's so much inauthenticity, you know, and there's so much just phony nonsense out there that it was just kind of like, that was another motivation that made us want to do this, because we were like, it would be fun, because I love when I'm hearing someone's thoughts and they seem genuine, they seem authentic, they don't seem like they're just saying whatever in order to follow trends. And none of us like want to follow trend. I mean, freaking look at our channel. Like we're not tech savvy, but we're obviously not putting in the effort to be popular, you know, and that's okay.
Well, and that's the thing is, it's just kind of like, dude, like I like our channel. I like what we do. I feel bad because it's like, we can't appeal to everyone, and it sucks when we lost Chad, basically, because like he was the guy that can like do the grindcore and the death metal and all those bands and the horror metal, all that stuff that Chad's into. Yeah, like his picks and everything, because we would pick different albums to do, which would help out those people into that stuff. Yeah. My picks help out the people that are into the prog power type stuff, and then
my picks help nobody. No, but I agree. But you were able to reach different people with different tastes, because
you push like more synth pop type stuff, you know, and so I guess like we'll try and keep this like nice and quick and everything. The channel's on live support. That doesn't mean we're never gonna upload a video. Like you and I will probably still do stuff, you know,
every once in a while.
Every once in a while, you know.
And it was fun too. Like, and that's another thing too. Like, it was fun while it lasted, and we covered a ton of artists that we wanted to push. But there still is tons and tons of artists out there that we feel like, man, I wish we were able to get to this one, and we might do it at someday. I don't know. Like, one on my mind was Catherine Wheel's Chrome album. I was like, dude, this is like one of my favorite records from the 90s, and it doesn't get talked about enough, you know. And I know you had some, like Dolly's Dilemma.
I want to do Dolly's Dilemma. Like, there's still so many artists that I feel like do not get their due. Yeah. That I'm like, if no one says anything, I got to do it. Same thing with Biomechanical. Yeah. I feel like that's another band that nobody really talks about or whatever. Yeah. And I will say, like, I'll forever be proud of like what we've done. I'm proud of the Les Miserables video. I'm proud of like that Camelot video.
That was great. Fun, yeah.
And even doing stuff like Puricane, you know, and heck, Mind Odyssey. Like, it's just we're able to do things that like nobody has this kind of like, I don't know, content or whatever, you know. And it'd be nice if people talked about some artists and stuff. Now, Lim is pretty big, but you know what I'm saying. Like,
no, that's the reason why, like, some of our stuff, like, we knew it was not going to get too many views because we're literally talking about an artist that very few people even have heard of, you know. But we were kind of just like, we want to make sure that like we're at least talking about it because we just, like I've already said before, like, we just don't agree with following trends. We don't want to just cater to an audience or whatever. We wanted to do what we wanted to do. And there's freedom in that. It feels good being able to be free. And you don't have to check your phone or YouTube every damn day going like, is anybody responding to this? Is anybody, you know, getting caught in that crazy media cycle, like, you know, like social media craziness. So in a way, it was fun doing this. It's almost like I'm saying farewell, but I'm not. But it's kind of like, it was really fun just doing it. And it was also cool just, having these, like, we now have so many memories in these videos and of conversations with like us and our friend Chad and even our other friends too, Jake and Brandon. Like it's cool to be able to look back 10 years later and to go like, yeah, that was fun, like hanging out with our friends and talking about music.
And I've got one kid and he's really young right now, but like whenever I die and everything, it will be cool for him to see what his dad was doing and
talking about what he liked and
what he you know, like that'll be kind of cool. And hopefully he'll be an Unexpect fan maybe one day. You know?
But like, and that was the thing too. We wanted to make sure we were promoting these bands, so that's why we always put in our description, here's where you can buy their stuff and whatnot. Because again, with the whole like, we understand that we're like basically playing this stuff that these people put their blood, sweat, and tears into making. So we didn't want to have this be a platform of like taking any kind of credit for anything. Like we wanted to make sure that the focus was still on make sure you support these bands too. And that's why we showed the physical copies too, just to kind of show like we put our money where our mouth is. Like we buy the shirts, we buy the records of these awesome bands.
We don't believe in digital. We don't believe in any of that stuff really.
Yeah. The only time I buy digital is when it's impossible to buy anything. You know, that's the only time I buy digital. But it's just the focus of our channel. We just really wanted to make sure we're at least promote. And none of these bands even asked us to do this. Nobody asked us to do this. Nobody, like, you know, it was just like me, Kevin, and Chad talking and being kind of like, wouldn't it be awesome if there was a channel that talked about all the crap that we like instead of making the millionth Metallica review video or the millionth whatever video? It was just like, anyways, it was just really fun to be able to talk about stuff that we really cared about. And also the people that commented too, Werner, you know, shout out to Werner, as well as the other people too. Like there's other fans and stuff too. Like it was cool being able to just like talk to some of those people that have commented and shared their thoughts and stuff too. Cause it was just like, yeah, you guys were the ones that the fans and the friends that we wanted to like connect with that was into the same stuff that we were. So anyways, with all that being said, it was really cool. It's really hard to kind of maintain it because of our own personal lives and whatnot, but it was a fun journey. And maybe if we ever lived in the same place again, I could see us doing it again. Yeah. But that's basically, and that's why we didn't even have a year-end event too, because it's like life happens, you know?
Yeah. So. And I will say, like, I'm proud of what you and Chad and I did, like all three of us. I think all three of our voices were important. And, you know, we're not going to change popular opinion. We're not going to, you know, whatever. But if there's like a 0.001% of influence for someone to just be like, oh, let me check out this band. Oh, let me, you know, if there's just that very, very small amount of influence so that people can check out some of the stuff that we care about in the music world and everything, I figure it's a success. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of how I monitor success, is that video did not exist. No video existed of this band until we did it. Yeah. You know, or at least in the way that we do it. You know what I mean? Sure, like people will just upload the music. So it's just like the album cover or whatever. But in the way that we're doing things, you know, it's...
And I hope that years from now, like I hope that some of the conversations that we had, I hope other people are able to just enjoy those conversations. You know, like that's cool. And if a band that we covered too, like if they find it and they're like enjoyed it also, like cool. Like it's a way for us to say thank you to all the bands that we've promoted on our channel, because they've made some incredible music and they've enriched our lives. And we hope that their music is able to reach more people and enrich their lives too.
Right.
You know, I apologize that we were not the most, you know, freaking biggest channel. Like if we were like a big channel that had 1 million subscribers, then it would be like, you know, it would be awesome to push all this stuff onto the masses. Like that would be cool. but we're not. We're
We don't
using the
wanna
voice
abuse
that
that
we
power.
Yeah,
No, I'm
we're
messing
using the
with you.
voice that we have, you know, and
Yeah.
that was really awesome to do that, you know.
But honestly, I'm okay with just kind of like having the channel on live support. Like if you and I hang out and if we feel like it, yeah, let's do an album together, and we will. But you know, I'm glad that we're not slaves to this channel.
Yeah.
We're not slaves to having to crank out another video or whatever. It's like, screw that. So, anyways, I think we pretty much said what we wanted to say.
Anything, any last thoughts or no?
No,
I don't think
just
I do either.
I'm happy with what we were able to do.
Yeah.
I knew that this channel was not going to last for freaking decades.
Yeah.
Like I'm not interested in being a YouTuber, you know.
Yeah, me
it's
neither.
just that it was a cool way to do what we do in our what we've been doing for decades anyways, of like going through music and lyrics.
It's interesting how this channel kind of like reopened some friendships that we had from years ago too. Like it was a cool way to get connected to more people. And
I will say, as a final thought and everything, I do like sharing stories and stuff, and I do like having that sort of record of like where we were when we got that album or whatever, you know. So just sharing stories with people is pretty cool.
Yeah, true. Well, thank you guys for watching, and thank you for all the people that have commented and shared their thoughts, whether it was good or bad. You know, like
a lot of people hated me for a lot of. They were like, "Fudge that guy."
But thank you guys for just like, commenting and sharing your thoughts. I know you guys are really passionate about this music and stuff too, and it's just really cool that you guys are, you know, kind of like contributing in your own way, you know. So
I just as we're closing out, I like trying to open another can of worms.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're not scripted or anything. We're just having a good time. So thanks everybody for everything.
Yeah. So 2025, we'll see you guys later.
Yeah.